Let's get right into it. iReekofAwesomeTV here. Today, we have a tier list. I'm going to rank the best legends to the worst legends, everything in between. Like, comment, subscribe. You know the vibes. Let's get right into it. Rampart. What can I say about Rampart? Not much, because she's terrible. Oh no, can you stop shooting at me for a second so I can put this wall down? Or hold on, give me 1 second while I pull out this big ass machine gun that takes 35 seconds to load and shoot. Yes, when you connect with it, it's over for whoever you're shooting. But in no good conscience can I justify having a Rampart. She's an F. Period. Next up on our tier list, this is gonna shock a lot of people, but it's Octane. And it's not because Octane is, a bad legend, but I'm giving him an F for what he represents in the Apex community. All you stimming all over the map, stealing loot when I'm right in front of a box ass Octanes, you are what's wrong with this game. Well, at least part of it. But all jokes aside, well, that's not even a joke. That's serious. But his stim is extremely punishing. You can no longer really use it to enter fights, only to get away. His jump pad is extremely loud. Octane's just an F for me, dog. It's a no-go. Tap strafe. That's all he's giving me. That's it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get this tier list started. Of course, we have 4 legends in the F tier. In the worst legend on the game, Revenant. Now, Revenant had a moment in time, if you will, several seasons ago, but his relevance was completely tied to another legend. You didn't see Revenant without Octane. You didn't see one without the other. His totem was very strong with a pad. Now the pad is nerfed. You can see the death totem coming a little bit easier. I guess his climbing shit is kind of cool if you are a try-hard content creator who just wants to climb walls and wall jump, but Revenant sucks. Even though his silence, I will admit, his silence is kind of cool. But at the end of the day, Rev F. Last on our F tier list is Wraith. No, I'm just joking, but she has a similar problem as Octane. Represents everything wrong with the Apex community, the leaving, the pushing everything, the try hardness, the not even trying to get, let's see if your team will win the fight. Just fuck them. Fuck Wraith. That is all. But that'll do it for our D tier. I'll put Wraith where she really belongs, which is not much higher anyway. Finishing off our D tier list is Mirage. Now, Mirage is super fun to play. So if you want to just kind of turn your brain off, throw in the decoys. His passive is pretty good, being able to res invisibly, and his ultimate, with you just sending a bunch of mirages at you, it's all not bad. It's just something about Mirage I can't put my finger on that just, in theory, he should be good, but he just isn't. The footstep audio is the only audio that works, so you know it's a decoy. It just doesn't work. Mirage, D tier, sorry. Before we get to our D list, I just want to give a small disclaimer. I understand that any of these legends, if they're played by Imperial Hal, are going to be good. So do not come in the comments saying, well, actually, if you know how to play them, that's not what this is about. Next up is Crypto, D. Terrible, okay? He is awful. If both of you are dead, he's okay. He can rest, he can pick up banners, but other than that, his little weak ass EMP is meh. They've tried to buff him, and they failed because he started out so bad. Crypto, D. Next up is our C tier, mid-pex legends. They're not terrible, they're not great, they're just mid. And leading it off is our resident weirdo scientist, Caustic. Now, because pubs is just push, it makes Caustic kind of useless. All of his strengths are more towards in-game rank. He has a passive, he's fortified, so he's a little chunky, but he's taking bullets like a champ. His caustic gas, or he just throws a bomb at you. It's nice in closed spaces. Being able to use his gas barrels to, hunker down, again, lends to ranked. Caustic, mid, not terrible, not that great either. Up next is Bangalore, the definition of mid. I understand that people like Shiv, who is better than all of us, is amazing with Bangalore. But for the average person, her best feature also hinders her team. Her passive is really good where she speeds up a little bit when she gets shot at or shot, but her smoke, as good as a defensive tool it is, it's really hindering for the rest of your team. So if you take damage and you smoke, now your team is struggling. I know you're gonna say, find a digi threat. You gotta find them and or craft them. That's just not realistic. Not to mention her ult is terrible. It's literally just missiles, but it's a repositioning tool. That's all it is. You know who else is a repositioning tool? Valk. Bang. Super mid. I almost forgot to do Wraith. Wraith is a solid, terrible C. And honestly, it has nothing to do with the fact of anything that she does or doesn't do. Her portal's okay, but there's better ways to move around. Her passive, where she can see who's shooting at her or whatever, is okay. Catalyst is literally in the middle of the pack in Apex Legends. And you know what? That's not a bad thing. She has a lot of potential. The problem is in pubs, everything is push, 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 push. Catalyst kit does not lend to that. Number one, her ult is pretty bad. It needs a rework. It doesn't do much, but her Q, her tactical, the throwing stuff at the door to reinforce them or just reinforcing a door that's been blown up is extremely strong. We've already seen it in high level play. Catalyst probably will be meta sooner than later, but out the box, she's just a C. Ash, B. She's okay. Her little dart arc star thingy tethers is good. It's a good tool. She's a fun pubs legend that can't be used in rank really. Her death box identifier thing is okay, I guess, but Ash is just mid. Unfortunately, she'll never really be played at a high level, but she is fun to play. If you just want to sweat and just push everything, no strategy, just look for bullets and just shoot people, Ash is your legend. But I cannot give her anything higher than a C. Mad Maggie's going to finish off our C tier. We thought Mad Maggie was going to be meta at the beginning of the season or the beginning of the last season. Her passive, where she's able to run faster with shotguns and slide and do stupid stuff, it's super niche. Her wrecking ball is literally basically just an octane jump pad. You just move fast, or an octane stem. Not really useful, but her drill, her tactical is really, really strong the way they buffed it. Anyone kind of hunkering something down is going to have a problem with Maggie. It also breaks the Gibby drill, which is also kind of lean to people not playing Gibby, but Maggie just in the middle, C tier. Starting off our B tier, we got two legends, and we're going to start with Watson. Now, I'll be honest, I am terrible with Watson, but she has a place in high rank. She is the definition of sit in the building and just wait. Her fences are really strong. I've seen some aggressive, strong fence plays in pubs, so she's not completely useless. Her pylon is really, really good, specifically for stopping grenades from Fuse or Gibby alts or Bang alts. She's okay. Not the best, not the worst. I like Watson. I wish I could play her a little bit better, but Watson definitely has a place. Strong B. And the only other legend we have in B tier is Bloodhound. Honestly, Bloodhound, if you just started playing Apex Legends today, is the legend I would recommend. Point and scan, can see footsteps, really, really strong. All you gotta do is look any direction, see what's going on. His ult gives you a bunch of scans. If you down people, you get more time. He just doesn't take a lot of skill to play, but Bloodhound is extremely strong. Played at all levels, fun in pubs, fun in rank. Bloodhound, solid B+. Aha. We're getting to the nitty gritty, guys. We are in the A tier, and we're gonna start with Pathfinder. Now, we all know he doesn't have a passive because his passive has been passed around to multiple legends, so he just doesn't have. Old Pathfinder, super strong, grappling all over the city, a menace. Extremely fun legend to play in pubs. He's still playing rank with his zipline, some movement. Pathfinder is strong. I can't play him. I can't grapple worth a damn, but you will be hard pressed. If you can be a good Pathfinder, you're well on your way. Extremely hard to shoot due to change in verticality. Pathfinder, A, baby. Newcastle definitely gets my vote for most improved player, because when Newcastle came out, he was awful. Everyone thought he was going to be able to replace Lifeline, and to an extent he has. A couple of buffs later, he is extremely strong. That's why he's in the A tier. The ability to have a shield, all you got to do is slap a purple knockdown on this man. If you get knocked, he's going to be able to res. His wall doubles as two things. It's kind of movement if you really think about it, and it's also extremely strong. You'll be able to heal, hunker down. Most people can't just push that. Of course, it's electrified. Newcastle is strong, and he's going to stay strong. Not to forget his mobile shield, just to be able to enter into fights or leave fights, heal behind it. A good Newcastle is dangerous. Next up in our A tier is Gibraltar. Brother, still extremely strong, even though his pick rate has went in the toilet. Everybody thought that Mad Maggie was going to eradicate Gibby, but guess what? Nobody plays Mad Maggie, and the pick rate shows it. His bubble res is still extremely strong. Shotguns have came out of the meta a little bit, so there's not as many bubble fights, but Gibby is strong. He also has the best offensive ult in the game. A good Gibby ult is going to some shit up. Gibby, A. One of two support characters. Next up, we have Loba. Now, Loba is really strong in endgame. You ever been in that pub match where everybody's just holding the building and we're just kind of waiting to see who blinks first? Loba is perfect for that, because you know what? Her stick, being able to grab two things for each person on the team, just unlimited shields basically, extremely strong. The problem with Loba, she's never been able to reach her full potential because her tactical, her bracelet, has never really worked. And that's a problem. But Loba is still kind of a movement character, and as we know, movement is king in Apex. Another good thing about Loba is her passive, where she's able to see purple or higher loot. Very, very strong. Holding her back is really the dev's fault from being S, but Loba is a strong A. Unlimited loot when you get the stick. Just pick Loba. Crikey. Next up is Fusey. And I know a lot of people are going to be upset that I put Fuse in A, but Fuse is so strong and so underrated. Double stacking grenades, number one. Just throw him. He's the perfect third party legend. With his knuckle clusters, he's able to just get passive damage, if not eliminate teams. He's just really strong for an offensive character. There's no denying it. His ult gives you information because you're able to see through it, kind of like a scan. If you want a third party something, you should have a Fuse. Also, on the higher ranks, in my opinion, like I mentioned before, if you're hunkered down in a building, you want a Fuse. If nothing else, so the other team can burn resources. Passive damage so you can evo up if need be. Fuse, don't at me. He is in A. Last but not least in our A tier is Vantage, another legend who came extremely strong out the gate. Movement, as you're able to throw her bat wherever, jump to it, move around. Really good if you know how to use it. If you just have it out during fights, you're able to redirect or change verticalities. She is really, really strong. There's no arguing it. I don't want to argue about this. She has an ult, a sniper, that you get a new bullet every 60 seconds, and it might be the easiest gun to use in the game. The sniper is very, very, very broken. You start off with 50, it doubles each time. Basically, anything above purple, you 3-tap and they're dead. It's just really strong. Not to mention, she gives you passive information when she's looking at people. You can see how many people are on the squad, who's on the squad, what type of shield she has, and also she is another excellent third-party legend. Because her sniper is so easy to use, when you're looking at someone from a distance, you can just shoot them and yoink kills. Very good legend. I would recommend it for ranked or pubs. Vantage, A. And now we're getting to the cream of the crop. We've got 4 legends left, and you might have noticed I haven't named someone yet, and you probably thought they might have been lower, but we're going to start with Lifeline. Don't come for me. She is in S. I know everybody's going to be like, well, Newcastle, yada, yada, yada. I don't care, okay? I do not care. Lifeline, the only legend who has the ability to res someone when they're down, but also still fight. 9 times out of 10, when you get it down, you are about to be pushed aggressively. Now, with most teams, the other person has to stop fighting, which means it's basically a 1v3. Lifeline has the ability with your other teammate to potentially hold that person or hold that team off, and no one else can do that. Even Newcastle has to stop fighting. Not to mention, when you res that person, drop your drone, they can heal their HP while placing a bat. I know her ult isn't the strongest, but Lifeline is so misused, and it also takes a really good Lifeline to be a good Lifeline. You got to know how to play her. I know we all think Shiv screaming at the Lifeline S tier. Don't at me. Next up is Space Mommy Horizon, the best passive in the game. You don't realize how good it is till you jump off a building, since Apex doesn't have fall damage, and you just land smooth and you keep going. He's probably going to get a nerf here really soon, but the fact that she's able to change verticalities with her gravity lift, move up and down on you. I personally still do not know how to defend something when I get gravity lifted on. I almost always die. Her ult is really strong. Pair that with like a fuse or just grenades, and you get chaos. Horizon is easily the highest picked legend at Masters or above. She's gonna get a nerf, but enjoy her while you can. Space Mommy, super strong. The funny thing about Seer is he has never been buffed. He's been the same the entire time. And after the initial honeymoon phase that we all go through with new legends, people just stopped playing him. A couple of pros started playing Seer, and now everyone does. He is broken. He needs a nerf, and this is not up for debate. And I'm sure it's going to happen soon. His passive, being able to see heartbeats, no more ratting, his ult, where his web of butterflies or whatever it is, where you're able to track the enemies within the spear, is so strong and excellent for third parties. Not to mention it gives you shield information, where they're going. It's so hard to defend against. And then it's tactical, where he's able to just send out butterflies and see exactly where you are and reveal information. Fear is so strong. He's the second best legend on the game. And it's not even up for debate. Seer, nerf soon. Enjoy it while you can. He's really strong. Overpowered. There was no question on who the best legend in the game is, right? You knew this when this tier list started, or any other one you watched. The best legend in the game, cream of the crop, Valk. Best type of movement in my opinion, where she's able to change verticalities with her jetpacks, in addition to shooting rockets while she does that. Her rotational tool, her ultimate, although it's been nerfed to shit, is still a must in ranked. It's really hard to rotate when you're walking. Being able to not only change distances at a great pace, but also identify who is where in the process, must pick, in my opinion. I don't care. Valk's fun for pubs if you want to be aggressive. Rotational tool in ranked. Valk, the strongest, even after the nerf. Must pick. And guys, that's going to do it for our tier list. I know you guys probably disagree with me, so let me know where you would have put someone in the comments below. Of course, like and subscribe. In the meantime, tap Trey. And I'll see you guys next time.